Well, it's a decision that we all might make, the decision to donate our organs or tissues after we pass away. And a Huron County man made that decision. He wanted to be an organ and tissue donor. When he died, his family claims 2 funeral homes and a hospital denied him that last wish. And Terry, this case may result with some new state laws.
Yes, Angie, 2 bills have been proposed after this all happened more than 2 years ago. Amanda Rogenbuck just wants to make sure this doesn't happen to another family.
He was up walking, talking, moving around, recovering from his surgery.
Clifford Rogenbuck was a farmer, an avid hunter. He loved his family. When he unexpectedly passed away on August 16, 2023 at McLaren, Port Huron, after having surgery, his family was devastated.
This was completely unexpected.
Clifford was 77. He was an organ and tissue donor listed with the Michigan Organ Donor Registry. Attorney Vic Mastromarco says not all families are aware their loved one has made that commitment.
This is traumatically emotional because they have to get the family in the right state of mind in order to, accept what's happening. Because a lot of times the family doesn't know until it happens.
But Clifford's daughter, Amanda, and his whole family knew that's what Clifford wanted.
It was the one positive that would come from it, was knowing that part of him continued on.
He qualified to be a cornea and tissue donor, and Rogenbuck was on the phone with the Ramsey Funeral Home in Harbor Beach, making arrangements shortly after Clifford's death.
We knew the hospital was aware because they called Gift of Life around an hour after my dad passed, which is what they're required to do, and notified. And then Gift of Life put a hold on my dad. And once a hold is placed by Gift of Life on a body, the hospital, the funeral home, the family, no one has the authority to override that. You are a donor until they decide you can't be.
But someone made the decision that Clifford couldn't be a donor. This lawsuit claims Ramsey Funeral Home in Harbor Beach contacted the Pollock Randall Funeral Home in the Port Huron area, asking that someone there pick up Clifford's body from McLaren Hospital. The lawsuit claims all 3 entities knew Clifford Rogenbuck was a potential cornea and tissue donor, but the hospital released the body, despite a hold placed by Michigan Gift of Life. The donation of the eye tissue was to be handled by the company Eversight.
At this funeral home, knowing about the hold, just turned the body over to the embalmers.
Once that process starts, the cornea and tissue cannot be donated.
It's sad that our organizations couldn't work together to make that happen.
Dory Dills is the president of Michigan Gift of Life and admits there can be tension between her organization and funeral homes.
The time that it takes us to do the recovery of organ donation certainly delays things for the funeral home to get to work on the work that they want to do. But what we do know is that both things are possible. Families can be can honor their loved one's desire to be a donor, and they can have the funeral of their choosing.
Eversight did not want to comment on the lawsuit, but in a deposition, a woman who was employed by the company stated, "Not all funeral homes are agreeable to donation, and this is one of those cases, I feel like." Ryan Ramsey of Ramsey Funeral Home in Harbor Beach declined to comment, and we could not reach anyone at the Pollock Randall Funeral Home in Port Huron. Amanda Rogenbuck's family is being represented by the Mastromarco Law Firm.
Donations are helping people, and funeral homes are actively going to people, like the one in this case, and trying to talk people out of donations.
Why don't they? Is it a financial thing? Is it just a...
I think it's just a work thing. I honestly think it's a lazy thing.
As the lawsuit proceeds through the courts, legislation has been proposed that would require funeral homes to notify families that the embalming of their loved one is about to begin, and families must be told that making an organ or tissue donation will not interfere with a funeral or other celebration of life event. Another bill would require a funeral home or entity to disclose that the body of a family member has been sent to a subcontractor, as was the case here when Ramsey Funeral Home had the Port Huron Funeral Home pick up Clifford's body. Clifford Rogenbuck's family still miss him, miss those family get-togethers, but they hope that a part of him would live on in someone else, which is what he wanted, which is what they wanted.
We would have had an opportunity to have contact with the people that benefited from that and know that what he wanted to do continued on past him dying. And that was just unilaterally taken away by a funeral director we trusted, a funeral director we didn't know, and a hospital that didn't have the authority to do what they did.
In the 3-count lawsuit, including claims of negligence and emotional distress, is asking for damages of more than $25,000. McLaren Port Huron also had no comment on the lawsuit as well.